A very warm welcome to all my dear learners. Welcome to my incredible class. Here you will learn science for classes 6, 7 and 8 in a really fun and engaging manner. So my dear learners, today I am going to take the second chapter from class 8. Okay, so today I am going to take a very interesting chapter. You know what we are going to study about? We are going to study about an invisible world, an invisible living world around us. Okay, so what is the name of the chapter? The invisible living world beyond our naked eye. Okay. Look at this picture. You can see a beautiful house. Yes. Now see this picture. What is the difference in these two pictures? Yes, one is a beautiful picture. One is a beautiful house, and other one is made up of only bricks. Don't you think the house we saw first is actually made from these bricks? These bricks are arranged in such a way to form that beautiful house. Yes or no? And now look at this picture. This is a human body. Yes. And now look at this picture. So what it is? You can see so many lines in that body. Okay. Now what I show you is actually a very interesting thing that we call cell. See, we know a house is made up of bricks. Without bricks, a beautiful house we cannot construct. Okay, of course we need cement, we need mud, so many things we need. Apart from that, bricks are the building blocks. Okay, without them we cannot make that structure. Similarly, our body is also made up of these tiny building blocks called cells. These cells are arranged one after one after one after one after one to form our beautiful body. Yes. Now, not only us human beings, but animals are also made up of cells. Plants are also made up of cells. Okay. So, cells are the basic unit from which we all human beings, animals, plants are made up of. Is that clear? So what we are going to learn? We are going to learn about the cell. Now tell me, can you see this cell with your naked eye? This is the naked eye. Can you see? Of course not. Why? Because I told you these are the building blocks, and one after one it is arranged in such a way that millions, trillions of cells are arranged to make our body. And if billions and trillions of cells are there, how can we see them? They are very, very, very small. Okay, so such small things we cannot see with our eyes, our naked eyes. We need something special tool to see that. For that we have microscopes. Okay, we have microscope. It is highly powered microscope. Okay, then we can see and observe. Now here you can see a picture. This is actually a group of cells. Okay, it is actually a group of cells. I told you cells are arranged one after one to make this beautiful body, make your beautiful body. Okay, so this is a group of cells, and this cell has certain parts. Okay, what are these parts? The outermost layer, this outermost layer, this black layer that I am showing you, okay, we call it as cell membrane. What we call? Say after me, cell membrane. What is cell membrane? The outer layer of this cell is called cell membrane. The outer layer of the cell is called cell membrane. Clear? Now you can see a red dot here. Okay, this round structure inside the cell, this round structure, a prominent, a big round structure in the cell is called nucleus. What it is called? Nucleus. Clear? So this is called, the outer layer is called cell membrane. The big round structure inside the cell is called nucleus. This is also nucleus. This is also nucleus. Okay? This is also nucleus. Now you can see this blue part here. Okay? It is actually a jelly like substance inside this cell membrane. The cell membrane and nucleus. See, between the nucleus and the cell membrane, you can see the part is filled with a jelly like substance. What substance? Jelly like substance, and it is called what? Cytoplasm. What it is called? Cytoplasm. Three things I told you. A cell has three basic things. Okay. However, whatever the cell is, it has an outer layer. What is cell membrane? It is actually an outer layer that you can see. It is for protection. That we will discuss. So the cell membrane is the outer layer. Now what is the nucleus? It is actually a round, prominent round structure, okay, inside the cell. It is a round structure. And what is cytoplasm? It is present between nucleus. It is present between nucleus and till cell membrane, and it is actually a jelly like substance. It is actually a jelly like substance. It is filled inside the cell between the nucleus and the cytoplasm. So whatever cell we talk about, whether animal cell or plant cell, these three things or these three parts are there, okay, will be there. Clear? Now let's understand one by one. First, the cell membrane. So first and most important function of cell membrane is to separate one cell from the another. Okay, you have seen in the previous diagram I have shown a group of cells and how these cells were separated by this cell membrane. The second most important function is to allow the entry and exit of the essential materials. Okay, you know, in day-to-day life we eat and drink so many food. Okay, we drink milk for calcium, we eat leafy vegetables, we eat fruits for the vitamins and minerals. Okay, how these vitamins and minerals and everything is utilized by our body? This has to enter into the cell so that it can be utilized. And how will it enter? You know how a guest enters to your house? From a window? No, you have a good door. Okay, so every house has a door. From that the guests enter or exit your house. Yes or no? Similarly, cell also has so many doors, but the doors are not as big as ours. The doors are really small, but has many doors for the entry and exit of the vitamins. Okay, not only vitamins, minerals or whatever is necessary, even if water is necessary, water will enter to the cell. Okay, for the entry and exit, for regulating that, we have small doors in the cell membrane. Okay, and these not only helps to enter them, after utilization some waste is always produced. Okay, so that waste is also thrown out of the cell using the doors, using that pores. Okay, so cell membrane is also a porous. Cell membranes are porous for the entry and exit of minerals. So these two functions, all these functions are clear to you. I hope it is clear. Then we will move to another part, that is nucleus. You know, nucleus is very important part of cell. Okay, even though it's a very big structure, round structure inside that, it is the regulating body. It regulates everything. Without saying yes or no, nothing will happen in the cell. Okay, so it is the main regulating body. It is a head. You can relate it like an head, like principal of your school. Okay, if principal sir is not there, how the school will run? Okay, if your parents are not in the house, how your home will run? Yes, we need a regulating body. Yes or no? So that regulating body is actually the nucleus. Okay, now most important for our whatever is needed for our growth is regulated by this nucleus. Okay, our DNA, you know, DNA is actually a transcript, or I would say a paper which has all details about you. Okay, that how your hair should be, how your eyes should be, how you should talk, what is your voice. Okay, everything is in that paper. So DNA is like a paper which is contained in this nucleus. Okay, so nucleus is very important part of the cell. Clear? Now we have another part, that is cytoplasm. And cytoplasm, as I told you, it is a jelly like substance inside the cell, but it is a place where all the things are going on. Consider your classroom as your cell, and your walls as cell membrane, your teacher as nucleus, and the space in the classroom where you will do everything is the cytoplasm, whether it is the bench or the floor. Okay, and you people, what I call you, the students of the class, you are the little components. Okay, whatever you know is happening in the class is because of you. If you are not there, nothing will be done. Yes, so you are the little most important components in that cell. So cytoplasm also has many components like mitochondria, vacuoles, okay, chloroplast. These are some of the components which are found in the cytoplasm. I hope that these three things are clear to you, the basic parts and their functions. Everything is clear? So shall we move on? So now, my dear learners, we are going to learn about types of cells, and there are two types of cell, that is animal cell and plant cell. We can categorize human cells and animal cells, okay, into one category. We call it as animal cell. Okay, and the second one is the plant cell. So basically we have two kinds of cell, that is animal cell and plant cell. Now we will see what all these things are. Now by now you can tell what are these parts. What is the black outer covering? You can see it is the cell phase. It is the cell membrane. Yes. Now the red one is nucleus. Okay, so I will write it. It is cell membrane. Okay, next it is nucleus. Then the jelly like portion in it, it is called the white space. I am referring, it is the cytoplasm. Now I will tell you one more interesting thing. I told you that cytoplasm has many essential components. Okay, just like the classroom has very important students in it. So we have one thing, that is mitochondria. What it is? Mitochondria. Clear? So these are the important parts of an animal cell. So what we have said, there are many other components, but for now we will learn these components only. Okay, so first is cell membrane, the outer layer. Second, the round structure is the nucleus. Then this white portion is the cytoplasm. It is the jelly like substance, and that cytoplasm has many components, and one of those important components is the Mitochondria, very important, is the powerhouse of the cell. Okay, we will learn in the coming chapters. So it is the mitochondria which is an important powerhouse component of the cell, which is usually found in the cytoplasm. So far these things clear? Okay, now we are going to study about plant cell in details. Okay, have you ever wondered how these plants are able to sustain the harsh climatic conditions, how they are able to maintain their posture? Okay, they have something special. Okay, only these basic components alone cannot do. Okay, they might have something special things. Okay, and most importantly, how they are green. Okay, the leaves are green. How? There must be something. Yes, God has provided some special things to plant cells, and we are going to discuss what are those special things. So basic things they will have. What are the basic things? First, cell membrane, nucleus and cytoplasm. Okay, we will find where it is. So the inner layer, this inner layer, that is not the outer layer, this is an inner layer they have, that is the cell membrane. Why I didn't take the outer membrane, I will tell you in a second. Second, they have nucleus. You can see this red structure, round structure, so nucleus is also there. Now you can see the white portion inside that. Okay, cell between the cell membrane and the nucleus. So cytoplasm is also there. And I told you this cytoplasm has some important components, that is, example was the mitochondria. Yes, that also is there in the cell, that is also there in the plant cell. That this blue color thing that I am showing you is the mitochondria. Okay, so these are the basic things that it possesses. But apart from that, what special things it has? Yes, God has provided some special things. First thing is the cell wall, that is the outer layer. This is the outermost layer. Okay, this is the outermost layer. Outside the cell membrane, they has another membrane or another protection layer called cell wall. Why? Because the climatic conditions, the sunlight are so harsh that cell membrane cannot withstand that. They need special protection. So that's why God has given them cell wall to protect, to give extra protection to the cells of plant. Okay, to maintain their posture. Okay, whatever posture they has, it is because of this cell wall. Okay, the main purpose is to protect this wall, protect this cell, the plant cell. Okay, then they have another interesting thing. I asked you how the plants are green, because they have a special green color pigment. A green pigment is there which we call as chlorophyll. You know chlorophyll? Chlorophyll is inside the plants, but where is this chlorophyll located? Okay, so now listen carefully. The plant cells have a rod shaped structure called plastids. Okay, called plastids. Clear? Now they all will have plastids in it, the rod shaped structure, the black structure that I am showing you. These are plastids. Now if the plastids have green color pigment called chlorophyll in it, okay, then these plastids are called chloroplast. What it is called? Chloroplast. So basically this rod shaped structure is nothing but the chloroplast. What it is? chloroplast. The structure is chloroplast. Chloroplast. What is chloroplast? Chloroplast is actually a plastid, okay, which contains chlorophyll in it. So chloroplast has chlorophyll. Where is the chlorophyll located? Inside the chloroplast. Okay, and the chloroplast containing chlorophyll, the whole thing we call as plastids. Clear? Everything is clear? Now the another thing, you can see a big empty space here. What is this big empty space? It is nothing but the vacuole. You know, vacuum space, so it is called the vacuole. What is this vacuole? Empty space, yes. Now here the plants put their waste in it, okay, and this, because of this vacuum, okay, because of this empty space, this cell has a specific structure, okay, shape. So vacuole helps to store food, okay, it can helps to store food, whatever food is being prepared, okay, helps in managing waste, okay, and helps to maintain the shape. Shape of what? Shape of plant cell. Clear? Is it clear to you all? So what types of cells we have? We have two types of cells, that is animal cell and plant cell. Okay, and what are the basic parts of cell? Cell membrane, nucleus, very good, cytoplasm. Cytoplasm has a very important component in it. What it is called? Mitochondria. Now if we talk about plant cell, God has provided some special things to the cells of plant apart from these basic parts. And what are they? First, that is the cell wall for their protection. Second is the vacuole. Okay, why? To store the food. Whatever food they are making, they can store it here safely. Yes, just like our house also has a storeroom, right? And the last thing is, to give plants their green color, they need something, a green pigment called chlorophyll. And where this chlorophyll is located? This chlorophyll is located in the chloroplast. And what this chloroplast is? It is actually a plastid. And what are plastids? Plastids are rod-shaped structure. Rod. Okay, that is like long, this elongated shape. Rod-shaped structures which are found in the cytoplasm, just like the mitochondria. Clear with the concepts? Okay. Now we will learn that how they are grouped together, okay, and what happens when cells are joined together. You know what happens? I tell you in a nutshell. When so many cells join together, they form a tissue. Okay, not tissue paper, okay, what you use. Okay, when so many tissues join together, they form an, yes, organ. Okay, organ, that is heart. So heart basically has so many cells. When so many cells, instead of so many cells, we can use a single word called tissue. Okay, and these whole organs form the organ system and our human body. When organs join together, a human body is created. Okay, so that is a nutshell. I told you we will talk about this in detail about the microorganisms. Now what is the difference of microorganisms? I will tell you. Microorganism, micro means very small. So we are going to learn about very small organisms. These topics I will continue in the next class. So stay with me, connect with me, we will learn together. If you have any doubts in these portions, you can ask me. Okay, these are the basic important thing. So you should be clear with these things. Alright, we will meet in the next class. Thank you for watching.